Question of the day, have you ever had natto before, which is fermented soybean? Let me know in the comment below. If you have had it, let me know what you think about it. Some people don't like it and some people love it. So I'm curious to see what you think. Konbanwa, Pat Tokuyama here, creator of the New Japanese Cooking Club, all about plant-based Japanese food. Today, what we're going to be doing is making natto. Natto is fermented soybeans, and if you've ever considered trying to make it at home, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it, so stay tuned for more. Alright, so I have all of my stuff here ready to go as usual, and here I have about 300 grams of soybeans, which I have boiled for about 40 minutes, and they're nice and plump. There's a couple ways that you can prepare this. One of them is soaking them overnight for at least 10 to 14 hours, depending on the time of the year or how warm it is in your kitchen. But we're taking a little bit of a shortcut today, and we have boiled them so that they're nice and plump. They're not cooked all the way through. I just boiled it for about 30 to 40 minutes. So we're going to be steaming the soybeans in this stainless steel colander, and it fits right inside my pressure cooker. And first thing that we're going to do is just go ahead and strain this out. So this is the 300 grams of soybeans, which have been rehydrated. And we're going to give it also a little bit of a rinse. And it's okay if you notice some of the skin's fallen off, but the point is to rehydrate it so that when we put it into the pressure cooker, it'll steam evenly. So now we have all of the soybeans in here. I have about an inch of water, which is just up to the bottom of this. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here, and then we're gonna turn on the heat on high, and we're gonna pressure cook this for about 40 minutes until the beans have become nice and soft. And the way that you know that they're done is you can squeeze it, and it'll basically it'll get smushed. And if it's still a little bit hard, you might need to pressure cook it a little bit longer, but usually about 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes is good enough for me. While that's going, I'll tell you here how we're going to be making it. So we're going to be fermenting it in this little yogurtia. Yogurtia is a Japanese yogurt maker, and this thing does a really good job in controlling the temperature. So if you've never made natto before, one of the key things, one of the most important things is to regulate the temperature. And here is the little container that goes into the yogurt maker. Basically what we're going to be doing, instead of using natto moto, which is natto starter, we're going to be using a real pack of natto here. We're going to just take out about a quarter piece of this and then mix it in with the cooked soybeans once they're cooled. And then we're going to let it ferment. You're going to control the temperature with the yogurt maker, and then we're going to let it ferment, and then it'll be done in just under a day. So pretty quick, and I guess we'll go ahead and pick up again once this is done. So make sure to stay tuned if you'd like to see all of my tips, including how to make sure that you make your natto a success the first time around. So I've made natto several times, and the first time I did it was with my bread proofer, and it didn't really turn out too good because I let it over ferment, and so it was super ammonia-y, which is not a pleasant taste or smell, so I tossed that. This thing, on the first try, made it a success. So that's one of the reasons why I highly encourage you to get one of these if you don't have one already. So once this is done cooking, I will see you back in a bit, and then we'll pick up and finish the rest of this, and can't wait. So see you back in a bit. Okay guys, so my soybeans have finished cooking in the pressure cooker, and this is what they look like. What we're going to do is just go ahead and combine all of this into the little container here, and then put it in the yogurt maker. One thing that you need to keep in mind is you want to be as sterile as possible, because you don't want any competing microorganisms to try to eat the soybeans. I wipe the container with alcohol, same with my spatula, make sure both of those are sterile. And it's okay if the soybeans are a little bit warm. We're going to be fermenting this at about 45 degrees, which is about 45 degrees C, which is about 112, 113 degrees Fahrenheit, and anywhere from 24 to 48 hours. You want to check on it at the 24-hour mark to make sure that it is fermenting as you would expect. It should be a little bit stinky by then. Obviously, the more that you let it go, the more fermented it's going to get, and you want to avoid over fermenting it, because then it'll start to get really ammonia-y. So if you notice like sort of an ammonia smell, that might be time to take it out and stop the fermentation. So here is a package of natto. We're just going to take out about a quarter of it. So they're pretty good sized beans here, and just try to evenly distribute this. Make sure all those chunks, if there's any chunks of natto, are broken up so that they're individual pieces. But basically what we're trying to do is make sure, trying to get as many of the soybeans into contact with the already fermented natto. And you can also use natto moto, which is the little powder. It tastes a little bit different. I actually prefer the taste of the packaged natto as a starter, which is why we're using that today. But let me show you what that looks like if you've never seen it. So this is natto moto and it comes from Japan. The instructions are in Japanese, but I think you can find English instructions online. You just Google, and it comes in a little package here with a little scooper. So it's like very, very little. You need very little of this. And you can see here it comes with this tiny little spoon. It's just like a tiny little bit is what you'd be using of this stuff. If you're looking for a new variation or something different to try, it could be worth it. So meanwhile, we'll go ahead and get this started. And I think the biggest difference for me when I'm making homemade natto is the texture. So if you've ever been to Japan and had natto in Japan, as opposed to the natto that you can get here in the US, the texture is very different. I guess the flavor is slightly different, but it's not as noticeably different as the texture. So I think that's the biggest benefit to making homemade natto. So for the natto, all you're gonna do is put on the outer lid, put that on, put the top on, set it at 45 degrees. This is in Celsius because it's from Japan. And then we'll put the timer at 24 hours and then hit start. And so when you hit start, you know that the red light is on and you're good to go. So I'll see you guys back tomorrow and I'll give you a little status update. You can do a little taste test and should be a little bit stinkier by then because right now it's not too stinky. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay guys, so my natto has fermented for about 24 hours and it's noticeably stinky. You can actually see if you shake it a little bit that there's little strands of the stringy natto stuff, the film, I don't know what you call them. It's sticky, the little strings, natto strings, and it smells like natto. This is at 24 hours, this is how it looks. And obviously if you're gonna continue to let it ferment, it's gonna get a little bit stronger in the ammonia flavor, so you gotta be careful, because if you over ferment it, it's not gonna taste good. So you wanna try to be a little bit conservative. If it's under fermented, it won't taste good either, but 24 hours will be relatively good. I'll show you how stringy it looks. So you can see those little strings there. It's nice and gooey. And it might smell a little bit sharp right now, but it does mellow out in the refrigerator after you slow it down. And the bacteria, the little microorganisms, further penetrate into the natto beans so that the flavor is complete. And if you can't eat all this, I guess it could be a lot of natto for one person, but Emmy enjoys natto. She usually eats it up pretty quickly. And but if you can't eat it all right away, it does freeze. I'd recommend freezing it if you're not going to eat it within a week or so. You want to preserve it after all that hard work. So let me know if you have any questions or comments. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more videos like this one if you haven't already. Leave any questions or comments below. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I think I'll see you guys in my next video. So, Jane, bye-bye. Oh yeah, and you guys might want to check out my video review of this yogurtia, the yogurt maker, which does all kinds of fun stuff, like ama koji, which is sweet koji, as well as miso, homemade miso, yogurt of course, cheese of course, and natto. So, coming soon, or maybe it's already been published. So check out the link in the description below in that case. I guess I could have saved a little bit of dishwashing and just used this to strain it, but anyways, natto. It smells like natto.